Live on YouTube. It's March 3rd, 2018, and I am going live on YouTube. Every day I go live on YouTube between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to be notified, you hit the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, then you hit the bell button to be notified with all my videos go up. And magically you get a red dot on your phone and it shows that I'm live. You can join the live stream. You can type in the live chat. You can add a comment and we can have a conversation. We can talk about anything. Living out of a car, life, sadness, happiness, stress, relationships, sex, whatever. As long as overall it's positive, it's fun. I really have learned over my YouTube journey now for just over 7 months that the live streams added great dynamic to this platform. The uploading videos is great because you can edit them, but they're like a still shot in time. And it's for sharing information or sharing on a specific topic. The live streams are for somewhat sharing on a specific topic. I do pick each live stream, I pick a structured topic. But the interesting dynamic is I take all the comments for any viewers that come in on the live stream, and then we have a conversation. So you can add your chat at any time. Just type in the live chat comment, add your chat. That being said, tonight what I'm focused on is stay away from sadness. Stay away from sadness. Human nature will always gravitate towards giving into sadness. We're seduced into sadness almost like we're seduced into a horror movie. Almost the same way when you drive down a highway and there's an accident on the side of the road, and even though all the lanes are open, cars slow down to see the accident. Human nature gravitates towards tragedy. It's just something inside humans. We're at war not with flesh and blood, but with a spirit inside of us. Human nature aspect that tends to lean towards tragedy. The joy of the Lord is your strength. The sadness of the world is your weakness. It's your enemy. Sadness will not allow you to push forward in life. Sadness will keep you in your house with all your shades down, depressed, self-medicating, and feeling bad about yourself. Joy will do the opposite. It will give you strength to get up. It'll say, open up the shades, let the sunlight in. I'm going for a walk. I'm going to take action today, and I'm going to live a fulfilled life. Joy and sadness are total opposites, and they lead down total opposite roads. And everyone, including me, have things we can be sad about. Even if you didn't lose something, you can obsess with the thought of losing something, and that can lead to a sad mind, a sad spirit. And then when you give in to that sadness, you stay stuck in that time. You don't flow, you don't go forward, you stay stuck. Because sadness paralyzes you. It sucks your energy, it drains your energy. Joy gives you energy, it gives you inspiration, it gives you passion. Joy and sadness are complete opposites, and it causes people to live complete opposite lives. I know many people who get seduced into sadness, and I feel sadness's claws sucking at my soul every day. I have to fight them off. Every day you have to renew your mind. Every day you have to renew your mind. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Sadness sucks out your inspiration. There are people that stay in their house all day in a very sad mental state, in a very sad spirit. You can be in the store, you can get in your car, put all your bags away, sit in your car, and then all of a sudden, sadness comes on your spirit. Sadness comes on your mind of something you may lose, something you have lost, or just something you fear. Which fear? The opposite of joy, the opposite of love. God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. A sound mind. Not a fearful mind, not a sad mind. A sound mind. Big difference. Does that matter? Hell yeah, that matters. You want to go forward? You want to live your destiny? Or do you want to be sad? Big difference. Do you want to self-medicate? Do you want to you want to head to the liquor store right now? Do you want to head to the liquor store and stay at the same place you did last Saturday and be there again today? And I'm not just talking about a physical address location. I'm talking about a place in your spirit. Do you want to push forward to your destiny? Or do you want to be sad and look at a glass bottle and drink away your sorrow? Am I against drinking? No, not necessarily. Am I against you having an alcoholic beverage? No. I am against giving into sadness. I am against going backwards in life. I want to go forward. I want to be around people who want to go forward. Why does that matter to me? Because I believe in a destiny. I believe in a purpose. Do I understand why every sad thing happens in this world? No. Don't get seduced into that either. Don't think that you are responsible to figure out why there is all this sadness in this world. You have to take that on your shoulders, and then you have to make everyone else happy. You know how you make people sad? By trying to make them happy. You make people happy by being happy. By doing the work of your own life. Every day you must renew your mind. You must encourage yourself. Very important. Very important if you're serious about your purpose, if you're serious about your destiny. That's the core of what I wanted to share. I don't need to exhaust that. I need to document that for people who are in the live stream and for those who will replay it, and for myself, even if no one else likes it, even if, this is how you have to live your life, even if you get 50 thumbs down, even if everyone unsubscribes, you have to live your life looking forward. That's the only way you go forward. You have to listen to your inner voice, not to anything else. The rear view mirror is you looking to see how many thumbs up you get. The rear view mirror is saying how many other people are following me. The rear view mirror is backwards. You focus on forward. You focus on your inner voice. You focus on your joy. You focus on your purpose, even if no one else understands it. Everything else is living someone else's life. And you will find that most people aren't happy. Most people are sad. And the only thing they take joy in is making other people sad. Because they can't understand why you're happy. Not only can they not understand it, some people don't like it. They want you to be miserable with them. This is what you face. Not a battle against flesh and blood, not nuclear war, but you face a mental war every day. Every day you must renew your mind. You don't have to worry about a nuclear war. You have to worry about giving in to sadness. You have to worry about thinking about the person you lost, thinking about how you weren't the best caretaker. You have to worry about that you don't get sad thinking you're going to lose something. That you don't get sad thinking about people don't like me. You have to find joy. Joy. The joy of the Lord is your strength. Letting go of negative thoughts. Taking care of yourself well. Treating people the right way so you don't have to guilt trip yourself. You don't have to allow others to guilt trip you. You don't have to let other people define you. You know, certain people know you from work. They think they can define your life in your personal space. They can't. Certain people know you from your childhood. They think they can define your adulthood. They can't. You define your life. Even if they don't understand it, you define your life. Why? Because it's your life. Never forget it. All right, now let me get into some live comments. Whew, that was good. I enjoyed it. Oh, Snuff Times. Snuff Times, give me the peace emoji. Thank you, Snuff Times. Good to see you. Nurse Jan. Hey, with the smiley face. I always enjoy a smiley face. Thank you, Nurse. Sailing John. That's my guy from Jersey. And he almost had a Mr. Buddy Heater. He sent me that comment, but he got away with it. He rigged up something else because he lives full-time on his boat. He's technically basically living off the grid like me. But, John, what I say? Next winter, me and you ain't going to need no Mr. Buddy Heater. Why? We're going to be in the land of palm trees and 85-degree weather, brother. All we're going to need is sunblock. Screw the Mr. Buddy Heater. Praise God willing. That's what I want, John. John, give me a palm tree emoji, John, please. Linda, our fellow Floridian. Hey, Sam. Hey, Linda. I have been sad for too long. That's right. Let go. If you've been sad for too long, let go. Let go of every negative thought. Let go of you self-criticizing your job as a parent. Let go of every self-critical thought. Let go of every fearful thought. Let go of every condemnation thought. God did not give us a spirit of fear and being timid, but of power, but of love and a sound mind. A sound mind. Not a disturbed mind, not a sad mind, not a fearful mind, not an insecure mind, but a sound mind. Do I take that serious? Hell yeah, I take that serious. Do I need somebody else to validate who I am? No, I don't. And neither do you. All the power lies people in your life to validate you. You don't need 5 people. You don't need anyone. All you need is to look inside yourself. And Linda, I thank you for hanging in there. I want to acknowledge you right now, Linda. Linda, I know it hasn't been easy for you. And I know sometimes, you add comments and you're going through something, but you're still here. You're still hanging in there. What does that tell me? I know that's not easy because I know I'm serious about going forward. And I know for some people that's not easy to hear. But Linda, I give you credit. You have what it takes. You have what it takes, Linda, to go forward. Don't let anyone, including yourself, tell you different. Keep going forward, Linda. Thank you for staying with me. Oh, Sheila Baker. Sheila, glad to be here. Glad to have you. Thank you for the sunglass emoji. Sheila, thanks for the inspiration. Thank you for the love and encouragement. Do I need that? Yes, I'm human. And I thank God for people who encourage me. It matters to me. Just was watching your reflecting in your car. I enjoyed that one. Then you came on here live, smiley face. Sheila, then she gave the sunflower emoji. Thank you, Sheila. The beautiful Meadow. Hey, Meadow. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Meadow. How are you? Good to see you. Do I need my LED light? Oh, it's magical. Not really. There's some street lights and it's not that dark tonight. But I'm still got it on because I don't want to idle my car. Meadow, you're looking beautiful as always. How are your cats? How is your singing, Meadow? Are you still singing? I want you to sing. That's part of your gift if you want to sing. Linda, I do things now to make me happy. In all find happiness. You can't make anyone else happy. The happier you try to make someone else, the sadder they will get. People get happy when they see you happy. People get happy when they see you happy. Make a mental note and never forget it. Take care of yourself. Oh, Jamila! Good to see you. And I hope I'm saying the name right, but if not, it's all love. You're a new subscriber. Well, I appreciate the subscription, love, and respect to you. Feel welcome, and thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Sailing John, palm tree emoji, sailboat emoji, and sunglass emoji. Thank you, brother. Good to see you. Nurse Jan, 4 palm trees emoji, and bikini emoji. Do I like the bikini emoji? Hell yeah, because I'm still human. I like encouragement, and I like bikinis. Can you be mad at me? Some people are. Most people are happy for me, though. Do I focus on the 10% negative? No, I focus on 90% positive. Everyone in life. I don't care if you're Mother Teresa. I don't care if you're Martin Luther King. I don't care if you're Gandhi. I don't care if you're Trump. I don't care if you're Obama. I don't care if you're whoever you are. You're always going to have 10% of people that never like you. Always. But you're always going to have 90% of people that think you're decent. It's a life lesson history. Jesus didn't end on the cross because they thought he was great. But most people did. It was the 10% that didn't. So these are the life lessons. I'm not to get into a political necessarily discussion, but to give you real life. You have to understand that. Why do you have to understand that? Because part of going forward is building confidence in yourself, not to hurt people, not to be disrespectful, but you have to have enough confidence in yourself that you don't give into a moment of insecurity and sadness. Because people who aren't willing to feel a little bit resistance, if they're not willing to take a little bit of a backlash, they will turn around and they won't be able to lead. They won't be able to lead themselves and they won't be able to lead others. Can an insecure person be a leader? No. They can be compassionate, they can be loving, but they can't be a leader. Part of being a leader means that you have to feel a little bit of backlash. You have to certainly keep an open and humble mind to see if you need to correct. But if you're not hurting anyone and you're doing what you feel is right, you have to go forward. You have to go forward. And so we go forward. AJ's in the building. That's my guy. What's up, Sam? Working out in Planet Fitness and listening. All love and respect to that. My guy AJ is big into health and fitness. Another Planet Fitness member. And keep working out, brother. When you get there's nothing that's going to inspire you like getting your blood flowing. Now, I'm a big proponent, a big supporter of I lost 200 pounds in my life. You don't need to work out like a madman or a mad woman. I think walking will get you most of the way there. Having the proper food intake will definitely get you there. But the good part about going to the gym and lifting light weights up the proper way is it gets your blood flowing at a certain level. To walk or to running, you put a lot of wear and tear on your knees and your joints, especially as you get older. So the thing I like about lifting weights is it will circulate your blood and you'll feel it pumping through your system. And obviously that gives you endorphins and it gives you, a high, but it's also, it's just like when blood flows through your body, it delivers oxygen and nutrients to your cells. Your cells make up your body, and that's part of why doctors say to lose weight and to stay healthy, there's certain parts of the day where you have to get your blood, your pulse at a higher rate, your blood pumping at a higher rate. So that's part of taking care of yourself well. Let me tell you something. If you don't walk, if you don't work out, if you don't do what you can based on your age and your physical capacity to engage health, you will be sad. I don't care how mentally strong you are. I don't care how many Joel Osteen books you read. I don't care what you do in life. I don't care if you're rich and you don't have, and you live a simple life, you have no bills. If you don't move your body, if you don't get your blood flowing, you will be sad. You will be sad. It's mind, body, soul. You want to find joy? Go for a workout. You want to find joy right now? Get your ass off the couch, shut me off, and go for a walk outside, listen to your music. Bundle up. Guarantee you'll be inspired. And that's real. Joe Humphreys from the UK. I believe you need both, all caps, happiness and sadness to fulfill a true life. Well, I believe that it's good to be in tune with sadness because it allows you to have empathy. Can you be a leader without having empathy? No, I think you need empathy. That being said, you can't let the tail wag the dog. Certain people that are too empathetic, too overly compassionate, just to try to prove a point that they're loving, they let people who are lost lead them to try to prove that they're compassionate. The blind can't lead the blind. So you have to feel sadness, but you also have to overcome it. You have to be an overcomer. I mean, if not, we're human. We're going to feel sadness. I'm not saying avoid sadness. I'm not saying you're not going to feel sadness. I'm saying stay away from it. Stay away from sitting in sadness. There's some people, they wake up, they keep their shades down, they stay in their house, they don't go out, they stay in a sad place. Don't stay in a sad place. You may get to a sad place, you may have a sad thought, you may have a sad moment of reflection. Don't stay there. There's a difference between being sad and staying sad. Big difference. You have to learn to encourage yourself. You have to realize the joy of the Lord, God living inside you, however you want to define that. Joy is your strength. Sadness is your enemy. Big difference. So that's my take on it. Thank you, Joe. Love and respect to the UK. Did you get your Jeep Renegade yet? CD's in the house. Hey, Sam, in Vegas for the weekend. Come visit. Well, good luck to you. Safe travels and enjoy your journey. Enjoy your life. Thank you, CD, for checking in from Vegas. Love and respect to Vegas and to every part of the world and country. It's a good thing to get out there and to live your life. I was reflecting on that earlier when I made the video. You have to take action. You have to live your life. I mean, it's the weekend. I'm not a big weekend partier anymore. Certainly I had a season of that in my life. But I am big into fulfilling your destiny, being yourself, living a passionate life, and going forward, period. Pat's in the building, also known as Patricia. I call her Pat for short. Hey, Sam. Hey, Pat. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for the comment. Pat said you should try to keep the Mr. Buddy Heater wood a couple feet away from where you're at. I'm not mad at that. We're going forward. I feel good. Yeah, it was a little chilly today, but the winds died down. Last night was very windy, but I still slept good. It still was only like in the 30s. So as long as it doesn't get to the single digits, as far as in Fahrenheit measurement, I feel good. I'm good sleeping in a car. It works for me. And so I'm very thankful for that. I'm going forward. I feel good overall. I feel positive. And that's where I'm at tonight. And that's what I wanted to share. Outside of that, do I have anything magical that I want to share with you? Well, every night is magical. Every night is about working yourself up. Every time I try to do something, especially in my own space, I want to put passion into it. I want to have energy. I don't think you can get much done in life if you don't have energy. Certainly it has to be controlled. Certainly you have to have self-control. But if you don't work yourself up in a healthy, self-controlled way, you're not going to get up. You're not going to get out of a place of sadness. And you're not going to get done the things you need to get done. It's a vicious cycle when you start to fall behind on the day, when you wake up late, when you stay sad, when you just have this cycle. And then by the time the night comes, you're in a frenzy because you know you're behind the eight ball. And then you're trying to rapidly catch up. So again, I think a big part too, I always say about staying away from sadness and keeping yourself in a good place is I think you should try to wake up early each day. I think you should try to immediately go for a walk or immediately go to the gym. And I think you should just start handling business, whether it's work business, whether it's personal errands, whether it's whatever you need to do for your life. Even if, every day isn't a big step forward, and certainly there's some days we take a step backwards. But I think movement is life. Idleness is sadness. Idleness is the devil's playground. Um, Very important. As I reflect on that tonight, because it is a battle every day to keep our spirit away from sadness. Um, if you don't think it isn't, just sit idle for a while and just let your mind go and let those thoughts take hold of you. You know what you're going to think of? Sad things. It's very rare that our mind goes to a happy, inspiring thought rather than a sad thought. We have to train and discipline the mind to stay on inspirational, positive thoughts. We can feel the sad thoughts, but we can't stay there. We have to stay away from them. We can feel them, but we have to stay away from them. That's part of a forward momentum life. That's the type of life I want to live. That's why for everything, even if, again, for me, these videos have to first be me talking to myself. And that's part of the value of a journal, whether it's digital or whatever, is I reflect back on my things in my life, the different things I've written, the different things I've documented in the video. And yes, it's embarrassing. Yes, it makes you vulnerable. Yes, it opens you up to criticism. But it also allows you to hear yourself. It also allows you to hold yourself accountable. Does that matter? Yeah, that matters. It matters to me. And that's how I feel. I'll take a little break. Now, I came in a little bit early tonight on the live feed. Why? Because, again, I keep that flexibility. Between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live on YouTube. Sometimes it's closer to 6, sometimes it's closer to 8, and once in a while it's before or after that time. But for the most part, it's in that range. There's good lighting here in the background. Look at that background. It looks like very magical to me tonight. Last night was a dark parking lot. It was very dark and spooky. Tonight it feels magical in here. That being said, if there's no live comments, I'm going to keep it moving. Nurse Jan. No, this is a wonderful reminder of things I need to do on a daily basis. Thank you, Nurse Jan. I appreciate that. Thank you for joining. Thank you for adding a comment. Appreciate that. It is a reminder. We have to remind ourselves. We have to keep our mind focused. If you don't keep your mind focused, if you don't direct your focus, if you don't direct your mind will direct you. And you know where your mind's going to take you? To a sad place. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. You could have everything going for you in life. You could have a good job. You could have your health. You could be blessed. And let me tell you something. You can still go to a sad place. Sometimes that makes you even sadder. I can't tell you how many people I've heard say that I'm depressed because I don't know why I'm depressed, because I have everything. I have a good job. I have my health. I have my loved ones. I shouldn't feel sad. Why do I feel sad? That makes them even more sad. Got it. You have to focus your mind. Excuse me, Pat. Somebody else who is a van dweller said he also stays overnight in a motel parking lot, apartment lots, or coffee shops. Well, everyone has a different way of doing it. I'm not mad at it, but that, for the most part, is definitely illegal from my understanding. And I've seen a couple of YouTube videos where cops came at a motel. If you're not staying in a motel park, if you're not staying in a hotel or motel, if you're staying in a parking lot, more than likely, that's illegal, and you could have problems with the law. Now, look, I know there's gray areas for everything, so I'm not going to sit here and preach on a high horse, but I'm just saying be careful, right? Because you want to live a peaceful existence. You don't want to have issues with the law, etc. And there's a way to do things responsibly. Not perfect, but responsibly. And so everyone has to figure that out and go from there. I like my background tonight. It's a little bit dead. I found going live, if you ever go live, I found it's you get a little bit more interaction the later you go live. Make a mental note of that if you ever have a YouTube channel. But I have to, I always just mindful of doing things within the space that's good for me, and the time frame that works for me. But and then the Saturdays are a little bit of a low point, because most people are out partying, or they're out doing something. Saturday is a big day to for a lot of people to socialize, to go to events, etc., etc. Pat, apartments, if not gated a community. Pat, that's why I wanted to ask you. Thanks again, Sam. No problem. Just giving my opinion, my perspective. Always remember, there's many opinions, there's many perspectives, there's many different ways to do things. Sriracha's in the house. Hey there, hello to you. I'm sorry, I know that you commented yesterday, last night's feed, and I know my reception started to break up, and I hope that you heard. I did acknowledge you. I see you. I thank you for joining. Beautiful profile picture. Welcome, and love and respect to you. Welcome, Sasha. Sasha, oh, no worries. Good. Keep a positive attitude. That's right. Yeah, it's good to have a positive mind, man. No worries. Photo Plus on the live check-in. Hey, Sam, good to see you again, Photo Plus. So where do you spend the night most of the time? Can you name your top 3? I'm hoping to start my journey and want some ideas. Rest stops, Walmarts, and if I'm in a certain area, family members' property. But those would be my top 3. The main thing to note is it's constant movement. Constant movement. I don't stay at the same place for a week straight. Campgrounds is on the list too. So sometimes I do pay. There are some free campgrounds. There's some free ones in Florida. Deep Creek Preserve was free for a week. So there's different ways to do it. The main thing is you have to move. And the main thing is I don't go to the place I'm going to sleep until 10, 11 o'clock at night. I don't camp out there and just sit around. I mean, because that's not what it's for. It's for, resting you're allowed to go there for a certain amount of hours to sleep, and then you have to get up first thing in the morning and leave. Now, some people wouldn't be comfortable with that amount of movement. Some people like to sleep late, roll around in their robe, drink their coffee, relax. If that's what you like, then this isn't the lifestyle for you. You need to get an RV. You need to be in a campground. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's different ways to do it. Everyone doesn't have to do it like me. So that's what you'll learn too. You have to take a little bit from everyone, and then you have to form your own way of living a nomadic life, a life out of your car, van, RV, whatever. That's what works for me. In the beginning, it's tough no matter what. In the beginning, it was very tough for me. And I was still finding things out, how long I can stay at certain places, how long I couldn't. I was just doing things on the fly. I did some research on YouTube, but you can do all the research in the world you want. You can listen to everyone, but you have to get out there. You have to get in the game. You can practice all you want, but there's no substitute for real game experience. And if you want to do something, you're just going to have to do it and refine it as you go. It's the only way. And it may work out for you, it may not. There's nothing wrong with that either. We had a guy in here who used to comment all the time, American Writer. He lived like 9 months out of his van, and then he decided to go back to an apartment. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like everything else in life. You can change your mind at any time. I will often say a flexible mind is a healthy mind. A rigid mind is a stubborn, prideful mind. You can decide to sell your house and live in a car, live in an RV, and then you could decide to sell that and go back to a house. I mean, or you could just stay where you are. I mean, observe this lifestyle. It all comes down to being you. That's why I put that in my circle on my profile, because all good decisions are based on knowing yourself. The only way to know yourself is to get out there and to try different things and to figure out what you don't like, and then gravitate towards what you do like. And that's an ongoing evolution of life. Nothing stays the same. Life is constant change and movement. You have to evolve as a person as time goes on. And that's part of growth. And that's a good thing. Good to see you, Photo Plus. Thank you for adding the comment. I know a couple people that rent driveways from friends. I know a lot of people do campgrounds. Campgrounds are, they're out there. The biggest equation of it will be, do you work? Finding different areas by your job. If you're totally remote, then you have more flexibility. So there's different ways to do it. But I've traveled all up and down the East Coast of the United States of America, and it's not a problem. It's just a matter of there's a lot of movement. Some people don't like to drive. If you don't like to drive, you definitely need to get campgrounds and all that. I mean, because I like to drive. Hey guys, I had to move the car. Yeah, it all depends where my connection is, and then I have to move locations. Sometimes when you stream a lot of bandwidth, the location changes, but that's all part of going live. Pat says, one thing that holds me back, even if my husband wanted to, is RV is the doctor visits. How to get around pharmacy RX. Well, for me, again, I do it. I live this lifestyle in pretty much urban populated areas. So there's plenty of doctors wherever I go. The biggest problem with that is, which I did a video on, is having a flexible mind where you don't have to see the same exact doctor every time. Some people just get so caught into a routine, they're so unable to deal with change that they have to see the same exact doctor every month, even though they get prescribed the same exact medication, even though they live the same exact lifestyle with their food and their diet. And, chances are nothing is going to change, but they're comfortable with their doctor. They don't want to see another doctor. That's how they feel. And I once had that mindset, and I certainly can still have that mindset with certain things, but the only way to grow is to do different things and to have different experiences. You will never grow. You're never going to live your destiny doing everything the same for all 78 years of your life. If you live 78 years on this earth, which is the average life expectancy, and if you live the same exact year every day of your life, going to the same exact doctors, the same exact time, I mean, that's boring for me. But again, obviously there's people with special needs, certain needs. Everyone knows their situation different. I can't responsibly say everyone should do this or that. You have to know you, but I'm just sharing in general terms how I feel about it. Nurse Jan says, I'm still trying to figure it out. That's right. All of us are always trying to still figure out. What I say is, while you figure it out, keep pushing forward. While you figure it out, keep taking action. The worst thing you can do is be idle. The worst thing you can do is just stay in a place where people just daydream their life away. I really feel that way. Again, I'm a big preacher of be responsible, but I can't emphasize enough that there is no substitute for action. And you're never going to have it figured out. The only way you have it figured out is you start and you still don't have it figured out, but you keep going. And then you keep going and you keep going and you figure it out as you go. And then you thought you had it figured out, but you don't. And then you keep going. Keep going forward. That's the only way to live life. You can't live it going backwards or idle. Nurse Jan, I considered van life. Then the comfort of RVs, but I'm at a loss as to whether I want to work and travel or work part of the year and then drive cross country. So I'm still thinking it over. Well, Nurse Jan, you have to definitely, I mean, you know what you have to do what you have to do for you. All I can say is start now, refine it as you go. If it's something you want to do. If you don't know if you want to do it yet, then that's between yourself and you. But again, I start. No substitute for starting. Pat. Nurse Jan, I visit my GP once every 4 months. Pat. Meds every month. Nurse Jan, you would think Obamacare would have helped, but it didn't. Well, you would think President Bush, you would think Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton tried in the 90s. You would think Ronald Reagan. You would think all these Republican and Democratic politicians would have figured out, because healthcare was a disaster before Obama. Obama was the only one that tried to do something but covering pre-existing conditions and get people focused on getting some type of universal healthcare like other rich nations such as Europe and Canada. Is big government the answer? No. But personal responsibility is the answer. But people who usually want to hear big government is the answer, personal responsibility is the answer, those are the same people that go to Chick-fil-A and then they blame the government for getting in their way. So really what kills more people is unhealthy eating, and people are accountable for that, not Obama. But people blame Obama. It's not right. I disagree with that. I don't fully agree with Obamacare, but premiums were high before Obama did it. So he tried to get the rock rolling. That's how I feel. Now I'm okay. If you want to replace it and put something better in its place, then do it. But people aren't doing it. People are just blaming him for doing something. And I don't agree with that. Healthcare is a big problem in this country. It has been. Hillary Clinton tried in the 90s. I'm not a big fan of Hillary, but she tried. And, so they put a lot of energy into tax reform. They put a lot of energy into beefing up the military, but they're not putting a lot of energy into healthcare. And so, I say self-care is the biggest healthcare. So that's my overall thought on Obamacare and healthcare in general. It's been a disaster. It has been a disaster. And it's going to take a level of personal responsibility and some government regulation. And it's never going to be perfect. That's my thought. Pack Live. What's up, Sam? What's going on, brother? Checking in, buddy. I appreciate that. Nurse Jan. Agreed. Thank you, Nurse Jan. I know I can get a little rough. I love you. Gilbert. Hello, everyone. Hey, Sam. Gilbert. What's going on? Pat. I thought the president would make healthcare affordable. Well, one is I think he tried. I think other presidents tried and failed. They never got it through. Trump, that was his first thing he tried. You know what? The Republican president and majority Republican in the House, you know what they did? They did nothing. They sat there. They argued for 9 years or however many years about repealing Obamacare. You know what they did? They did nothing. You know what they did? Tax breaks for corporations, and you got $200 more per month in your paycheck. So you go get your health care with your $200 you got per month from your tax cut, and thank Trump for that, and blame Obama for bad health. I mean, come on, that's not fair. Again, I have no problem with saying Obamacare is wrong, but then also say that Trump and the Republicans were wrong for not also taking care of business when they had the majority in the House this year. They didn't do it, but they did do corporate tax reform. So both are to blame. And also, who's to blame? People who eat Chick-fil-A. Who eats Chick-fil-A? Every citizen. Not the government, not the Republicans, not the Democrats. Who's going to eat unhealthy tonight? Probably most people in this chat room. But they're going to blame Obama? Fuck that. Come on, don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a hypocrite. Because I don't mess with that. People... Yeah, I don't want to get too fired up. But you get me a little fired up. Sheila, after listening to your live streams, I have taken some to heart. This week, I have prepared vegetarian dishes. Yes, eat more plants, drink more water. That's part of self-care. To start to take better care of myself. Sheila, amen, Sheila, good job. Eat more plants, drink more water. I believe in a plant-based diet. The movie Fork Over Lives changed my life. Used to be 350 pounds, morbidly obese. Right now, I'm 210 pounds. I weighed myself at Planet Fitness. I've sustained it all for over 7 years. I got all the way down to 150 because once I lost all the weight, I was scared to eat anything. Now I have a little bit of balance where I have a little bit of treats, but 210 is a sustainable weight for me. I'm just about 6 foot. So again, I used to be 350 and I used to eat like shit. Nobody to blame, no politician to blame for that. It was myself. And I had to get my life together. And that's what I did. My mother's side of the family, all obesity. My mother has diabetes right now. She can't control herself. But I still love her. I still sit with her and watch her eat because I tried arguing with her and telling her this is good for you, this is bad for you. But what I've learned is, everyone can't help themselves. So what I just do now is I just love her. I have boundaries and I have to take care of myself. I got in big arguments with my mom when I first started to change my diet because she would cook like a bunch of unhealthy food for me. And she said, Sam, when you come over today, I'm going to cook this food for you. And I said, Ma, I don't eat that food anymore. I have to change my life. She didn't understand it. We got in a couple big arguments. But I couldn't take advice from her. I know she loved me. And as a mother, she was showing affection through her food. But I had to even be willing to let my mom not understand my path in order to get myself together. That's part of being an adult. I thank God that we were able to grow past it. I don't try to force her to eat healthy because she's an adult. I love her no matter what she does. But this is how I feel. I've seen my aunt, she died of obesity. My father, opposite side of the family, he's very tough on himself. Like if he's 5 pounds overweight, he'll look in the mirror and pinch his fat. And then he'll talk negative to himself. That's unhealthy too. Look, you can be skinny and unhealthy. You can be fat and unhealthy. And there's physical health and there's mental health. Mental health is staying away from sadness. Mental health is staying away from a pity party. Joy, the Lord, is your strength. Surrounding yourself with the right people, having the right mindset. It's all part of taking care of yourself well. And there's nothing to do with healthcare. Some of it does. But most of it is self-care. Some people can't take care of themselves, and obviously if you were in a car accident, there's major medical costs with that have nothing outside of your control. What you can focus on is what you can control. And that's what I try to do every day of my life, try to get better. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. That being said, I'm going to drink some more water right now. My man Gilbert, what's going on, big dog? I like this spot better. I get better reception. Gilbert, I don't care what the government put in place. I have problem with when it's mandatory if you take it. And then if you take it, if you don't, then they tell me I have to. Well, I don't have a problem with the government said you need to have health care. Just like I don't have a problem with the government saying you need to have car insurance. Why? Because if you go fucking plow into me in your car and you don't have car insurance, is that fair to me? Hell no. So if you don't have health insurance, Gilbert, but you have a heart attack and you go to an emergency room, who's going to foot the bill? Taxpayers. Uh, so, you should have to have health care because if you get hurt, who's going to pay for it? If you can't, the other taxpayers. Just like if you get in a car accident and you hurt somebody else and you don't have car insurance, who's going to pay for it? The other person with the other insurance, and that's how premiums go up too. So I am a believer that everyone should have health insurance because everyone's going to need health care at some point. And so, I disagree with you on that. But again, you have the right to your opinion. I respect your opinion. Gilbert, I respect you. So it's not that I'm trying to bully. This is how I passionately feel. Some people may disagree with me, but that's my personal opinion. Praise the Lord. We're getting into it a little bit now. It's getting good. I like it. It is what it is, man. We got to keep going forward, though. I know that much. Yeah, I went to the, Sriracha. I hope I'm saying that right, too. Sacha. You are pretty gifted with speaking. Thank you. I appreciate that, Sacha. Yes, I have developed that over time. I'm not perfect, but I've always felt that was my gift. People have acknowledged that early. What you do in your life, as you become an adult, you should find your strengths and you should play to your strengths. If you know you're good at speaking, but you're not good at working with your hands, then you should focus on your gift of speaking. If you're good at working with your hands, but not good at speaking, then you should gravitate towards working with your hands. You should find and develop your strengths and you should play them. You should limit the amount of time you have to focus on doing things you're weak at. Because your strengths, what you're good at is your gift. And that's what you're placed here on this earth for. So that takes a while of maturity, of finding what works for you, what doesn't. But I acknowledge that by the grace of God, that's a gift, part of some self-development, but I acknowledge the grace of God on that. And thank you, Sacha, for the compliment. I appreciate that. That's love. Going Loso, 203 New Haven, Connecticut. What's up, Sam? What's up, Goon? Good to see you. Thank you for staying with me along my journey. I really appreciate your encouragement, Goon. I appreciate you very much. Sacha, amen, preach it. Thank you, Sasha. Appreciate you. Goon, good speaking. Is a New York, New Jersey thing. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it can be. It can be. I'm blessed. But I also had a lot of great friends from the South. I dated a couple girls. Well, South. I mean, for me, anything, like I dated a couple girls from a Maryland area. Or I talked to them. I shouldn't say dated. And I dated a couple girls from Florida. I don't think I've ever dated any further south than that. I used to get really turned on by the Southern accent. So I really did like that. So I don't know. And they used to say I had a New York, New Jersey accent. I can't tell, but other people tell me they could tell. I don't. But we all, now I like Asian girls. I don't know. It's all different. Kids, place on Channel 9. James Vincent, North Bergen. North Bergen's in the building. What's North Bergen? A county in upper New Jersey, high property taxes. Why? Because they got great school systems and they're close to the city. They got a lot of growth and job opportunities. Great area. Again, I have a great friend that lives in Bergen County. Good man. He recently bought a rental property in South Carolina. Love and respect you, Channel 9. Love and respect. James, I'll say James, love and respect you. Goon Loso. Yes, I can tell by your accent you're either from New York or New Jersey. Definitely East Coast. People say that. Thank you, Goon. Sasha, heading out. Be kind, humble, and stay positive. Have a good night. Sasha, your words of encouragement are not for nothing. I appreciate them very much. Have a great night out. And I'm sure you're going to get hit on by a lot of guys because your profile picture is very cute. Peace and love. Gilbert, I have been taking care of my health over 40 years. If you want to make health insurance correct, what do you do if you have to pay into a fund at the end of the year? They should give some back. Well, does the car insurance give you any back if you don't get in a car accident every year? They don't. It's all right, but you should have car insurance because, again, anytime you get in a car, you can get hurt. Anytime you breathe on this planet, you could have a heart attack. You can, God forbid, get, somebody just hit you. So, car insurances don't give you anything back, and so that's all part of life. There's this part of life that, everyone's got their hand in your pocket. You're never going to alleviate that. This is part of life. Gilbert, should doctors, if you go to a doctor and they don't, and they're not able to make you well again, and they're not able to, cure your cold within 5 days, should they give your money back? If you make an appointment at a doctor's office 2 weeks in advance and you go there and you have to wait an hour and a half and fill out more paperwork, should that doctor who's making $250,000 a fucking year, should he not have to refund you? Hell yeah, he should. But does he? No. He bitches about Obamacare. He don't have any problem with you waiting in his office for an hour. And then once you get behind the clerical desk, then you go into another room, and you know who spends 90% of the time with you? The nurse and the secretary, who are getting paid below $50,000. And then the doctor comes in for 10% of the time. He looks at the chart based on what the nurse wrote. She's getting paid average salary. He's getting paid above average. He writes something up and he sends you on the way. That's, part of the broken healthcare system is doctors hoarding people in their room like cattle, overbooking their schedule like cattle because they want to profit. That's part of the problem too. And part of this thing is too, sometimes people go to the doctor too much. That's part of the problem too, I'll admit that. So there's various layers of problems. That's my opinion. Car insurance is another scam. Well, I don't believe that. So we disagree on that. That's fine though. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing on that. I mean, I definitely would not want to see a society without car insurance. My opinion. And what do I pay a month? And I have, I pay about $100 a month. So I think that's fair. If somebody, if you get in an accident and you're covered for $500,000 worth of damage, I mean, do you want to not have car insurance and be liable for that? If God forbid somebody, you hit somebody, you want to be liable for you go bankrupt without car insurance. And if somebody hits you and you're on the hook for $250,000 worth of medical bills, and they don't have car insurance, is it right that you're stuck with that? Not in my opinion. You should be able to go, get that compensation from their car insurance. So nothing's perfect. But I think car insurance is a good thing. I think health insurance is a good thing to have it. That's because we don't say anything about what we allow these things. Well, we disagree on those points, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing. That's okay. What are you gonna do? This is life. This is the magical part about life. Channel 9, also known as James, live in a car, ride a bike, take the bus. You could do that. I rode the train many times into New York. I've taken public transportation a lot. I don't like that though. I've taken planes. I like to drive. I like to be by myself. But everyone's different. I know a lot of people that just live by Uber. They take planes. They live by Uber and take the train, and that's how they live. So it's relative to what type of life you want to live. Gilbert, we have to start fighting back against big industry. I got no problem with that. But we also have to have clear direction. We can't just have like a wishy-washy plan. I mean, I'm not against that. I mean, look, everybody takes advantage of something if they're left unchecked. Human nature is to reach for more until you're put in check. So I'm not against putting big industry in its place, and I'm not against putting government in its place. It's a balance of thought. And I'm not against putting citizens against their place. Again, will we get to a point where if you're overeating Chick-fil-A, if you're overeating unhealthy food at night, your premium should be higher than other people? We're probably going to get to that point. Just like if you're a smoker, your premium should be higher for somebody that's not a smoker. I mean, so we're going to get to the point of all those things. It's just going to take time. Sal and John, why is it going to take time? Because people are tough to change. People have a dream of traveling. People have a dream of changing their career. People have a dream of living in their car. People have a dream of changing their careers, but people don't change. They sit in their house night after night after night complaining. Why? Because it's easier to complain than to change yourself. If you want change in this world, start with yourself. That's always my thought process. And then as you change yourself, then you just keep going. But I understand and I agree that big industry is part of the problem. And then part of it is, just I believe in a holistic look at it. Sal and John back again. What's up? It's good, Sal and John. I had to move locations because I wasn't getting good service with my other parking lot. Even though I had a good background setting, it was like nice with all cars going by. This is a little bit bright lights. But I'm thankful, Sal and John. Good to have you back, brother. I always appreciate you, Sal and John. October 2018, Sal and John. Gilbert, I don't say we should not pay something. We just can't keep allowing them to punk us. Well, everyone has their hand in your pocket. From your pastor to the president. Everyone has your hand in your pocket. But Again, I think we just have to start with self-care and look, there should be, in my opinion, I mean, you should have some basic coverage. Government should supply basic catastrophic coverage. Meaning, like, if, you accumulate $10,000 or more worth of bills due to some type of, like, cancer or heart, you're covered for catastrophic coverage. I've had my own small business. I've paid for my own health insurance, so I know what it is. A lot of people, they sit here and say, but I've been part of companies that pay my own health insurance. So I've seen the different dynamics. I've looked on the Affordable Care Act online to see if I would need to buy my own, how much it would be. It'd be about $400 to $500 per month because I wouldn't get it subsidized. I make too much money. If I made a lower amount, I would get it subsidized. Because part of the Affordable Care Act is how much. A lot of people, if you're making $100,000 a year and you don't get your health care subsidized, people are mad at that. Your health care doesn't get subsidized unless you make, like, $30,000 or less, then it gets subsidized. So, that's the way it is. Gilbert, I don't say we should not. Oh, I read that right. Sorry about that. So it's an interesting dynamic. Is there one answer? No. Part of the answer is eat more plants, drink more water. Tomorrow is today's March 3rd. So we're 3 months into the new year. A third of the new year, basically, a quarter of the new year is over. 2018 is beginning to slip away almost. So I'm always intrigued by people who have a mindset in the beginning of the year that I want to do a certain amount of things and I'm going to get it done. I will think of one positive person that I know in my real life. Her name is Jessica. That she's been struggling with some health challenges, but every time I see her post things on Instagram, she keeps speaking hope. 2018 going to be a good year. She's not giving up. I give her a lot of credit because I know she's struggling with her health. But I respect that. And I give her a lot of credit. Selling John. Couple weeks, another video coming. Yeah, I've been looking for a new video, brother. I can't wait to see a new one. Looking very much forward to it. Trying to adjust making them. Need to document the trip. That's right. And I always say, look, even if the video isn't perfect, just upload it. That's my opinion. Why? Because just start and refine as you go. I believe that's how we should live life. Don't wait till the perfect conditions because it's never going to be perfect. Just live your life. Be sloppy. Be imperfect. That's part of life. None of us are perfect. Be a little sloppy, and that's okay. Gilbert, that is why a democratic system is in place, because people will pull lever but won't be active. We used to march and have to sit in. Now we text and hide on the net. Well, I mean, again, I don't think a sit-in necessarily or a march is going to change healthcare. I think what's going to change healthcare is a level of personal accountability, people taking care of themselves well, a level of government regulation on some of the big pharma, on how much they charge for prescriptions, a level of regulation on the doctors, and a level of free market as far as, being able to sell insurances across state lines. I mean, I hear that talked about, but I got to figure out, I don't know enough about it to comment on that informatively. So it's a holistic look. There's a lot of different aspects of it. But let me tell you something. I spent a lot of time in beach towns. A lot of the big mansions, who they're owned by? They're owned by a lot of doctors. Look, doctors make way proportional more money than nurses and the regular people they service. That's got to come into play too. Look, but that goes back to college, because doctors feel they're justified in making $250,000 up a year to just look at you for 10 minutes. Why? Because they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical school. Medical school and college in general has become a big industry where, being accepted into a college is no longer like a sign of pride. It's a sign of they just want to accept your money. I mean, nowadays, if a college accepts you, it's not that you really should be happy about it. It's just that they want your money. If you were making money off enrolling students, why wouldn't you accept as many as possible? I mean, you would. I mean, college has become a big scam too, in my opinion. Now with the internet and all the information available, but too, technology will evolve the healthcare industry. I mean, now, when you have certain symptoms, you can Google a lot of this shit. Certainly, I mean, you're not at the point where you can, you can get prescriptions and stuff, but same thing with teaching. I mean, you can live stream a classroom, you can live stream a doctor's consultation. Most times people go to doctors with a common cold and they just want like antibiotics. So, but there's various layers. Just start with what you can control. And if you feel the need to march, or you feel the need to go, I mean, I would say do it, right? Be the change you want to see. So if you feel that people are hiding behind the internet and not marching, I would say, when is the last time you marched? When is the last time you organized a march? And you have to hold yourself accountable. If that's how you feel what needs to be done, then that's what you should do. Because the only way we change the world is by changing ourselves. The only way we lead is by example. Everything else is easy. All the other stuff is hard. Gilbert, a few years ago, Bloomberg was going to raise the rates on the taxi commission. All of the taxi Block 59 stream, Bloomberg backed down. Well, Bloomberg was also going to put a regulation on supersizing the cups at 7-Eleven, and people fought that. I thought Bloomberg overall did a great job as mayor, in my opinion. Now Uber's taken over, and so it doesn't, taxi commission's done anyway, because they didn't want to evolve as an industry. Uber basically took a lot of the taxi industry over. So I thought Bloomberg did a good job as mayor of New York. That's my opinion. So there's always going to be issues you disagree and agree with people on. There's no one answer. That's how I feel. Let me start my car because my phone battery getting a little low. Parade the Lord. Lonely Star. I just want a smaller one. Oh, Wandering Soul. Wandering Soul gave me a comment. I gotta look at that when I'm done. Wandering Soul, you in the chat room? Just voicing my opinion, Sam. You are respected, Gilbert, and you are loved. I know I'm disagreeing with you a lot tonight, but I want to also show love, respect to you. And that's why I'm reading your comment. So people watch this live stream, they hear me talking, but they're also reading your comment. So every comment you write, I've read, I've not blocked, I've not deleted. Why? Because your voice is being heard. Even though I'm disagreeing with it, there may be other people that either are watching this live stream or on a replay agree with you. Either way, we're having a healthy discussion. I will often say, I have no problem, Gilbert has a different opinion of me. I'm not blocking him, I'm not disrespecting him, I'm disagreeing with him. I mean, and that's fine with me. I think that's healthy. There's people that come in here on some disrespectful shit. That's why I block them, because there's no conversation to be had. We're not, they're not looking to have a health. So we're just having a healthy conversation. Gilbert, you are respect, you are loved, and you are heard. I'm reading your comment, letting it ride, and I appreciate your comment. Sheila Baker. Tonight is going to be 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight for me, I consider it brutal. Sheila, you have the smiley face. Yeah, for me, this is like summertime. One of my new viewers, Josh, commented on my Mr. Buddy Heater video. He said, Sam, it's going to be cold tonight. You may need that Mr. Buddy Heater. I said, no way. The only time it was cold for me, 2 winters, not 2 years, but 2 winters I spent in my car. And the only time it's been cold is January of this year when it went 0 below. That was cold, and that was tough. And I got sick. But that being said, as long as it doesn't get into single digits, I'm fine with layering up and thermal sleeping bag. But that's me, okay? And that's what I always have to preface. I always have to notate that. Whatever I'm saying. I have to make that notation because everyone's different, right? So some people can handle it, some people can't. And obviously also my age and my health. So I'm middle-aged, I'm in relatively good health. So obviously if I was older, would I recommend that for some people? No. I mean, so again, take everything in context. Gilbert, I appreciate that. Is why I like coming here. Much love and respect to you, Sam. Respect and love right back to you, brother. You've been a great viewer, and I appreciate you, and you're loved. Thank you. Sailing John, off subject. That's okay. With the full moon together with high tide together with storm surge. Wow, high water levels at South Jersey. Okay, where we left out. Sailing John, I was actually in South Jersey today. I started in Atlantic City, then I cruised my way south on the coastline. I went down to Margate City. I went to Longport. And then when I got a little bit past Longport, I was going to go to Sea Isle City. It was too much flooding. I had to go back inland off the coast because the streets were just flooded out. I couldn't even drive to Renegade through some of it. It was just too dangerous. So yesterday in Jersey Shore, we had high winds and we had high tide and we had just a bunch of water and shit. But inland, it was no problem. There was a lot of trees down inland. I got deflected on some on my route today, too. I did a video of me driving through, but it came out too rattly on my car holder. So next time when I do a driving video, what I'm gonna have to do is put my microphone in so you don't hear that rattle, because it didn't make for a good video. But we go forward. We're getting closer to spring. Again, I still rather be in the heat of Florida, but I'm thankful, and praise the Lord, John. We're going forward. Sailing John, you must likely went right past my location. I was thinking about you because I know you said you're a little bit south of Atlantic City. So I was definitely thinking about you. Every time I see, like, somewhere in South Jersey, every time I see, like, dock boats, I always think about you. So you're in my thoughts, brother. But keep your privacy. Don't disclose where you are. Because I believe that you should keep a level of privacy. And I want people to feel safe and respected. So I don't want people to disclose their location. I don't think that's healthy. Definitely not in an open platform, because you never know, some crazy person or just whatever, just so you feel comfortable. I think that's best. And I shouldn't say crazy person, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I feel good. What I have to dinner? I had a salad, some Goya beans. I did have some shrimp with that. Once in a while I eat fish. I went to Acme. That's a supermarket in New Jersey. Still makes Publix. Got you there. That's right, brother. Yeah, you gotta keep some things private. I think it's good to share as much as possible, but you gotta keep some things private. That's wisdom. But sharing is caring. And we go from there. Pat, I had a BLT. Bacon, lettuce, tomato. All right, Pat. I'm not mad at that. Did you make it yourself or did you buy it, Pat? Yeah, I like Wawa too. Wawa is a good place in New Jersey. They have some in Florida, not as many. Pat, I know it's not good for me, but I love it. I understand, and that's okay. I can still celebrate that BLT with you. When I was with my mom today, I bought her a slice of mushroom pizza. Was that healthy? No, but I know she won't eat salad, so what am I going to do, watch her be hungry? No. I still enjoy watching her eat. Look, I can sit with somebody and they can eat now at this point in my journey. When I was first changing my habits, I couldn't be around unhealthy food because I wasn't strong enough to say no. Now I can sit around people, they can eat cakes, they can eat steaks, and I don't say anything about it. And I enjoy watching them eat, and we can have fun. So I'm not mad at anybody for enjoying their life. Sailing John, I had scrambled eggs. I used to love scrambled eggs. And toast on my Coleman cook-up top. Sailing John, that's a video right there. For me, personally, I would love to see your cooking setup living on a boat, because I've never seen it. So, I know, you don't live in a car, you live in a boat, but I would love to see, like, you wake up, how you cook your stuff, how you do, because I don't know much about boating, but I find it interesting. Just like I'm sure some people watch me, like, living in a car, they find that interesting. So, that may be a good topic for your next video. Why is it important to do creative things? Because it keeps your mind in a healthy, positive, productive space, and it keeps your imagination sharp. You need a level of creativity to tap into imagination. Imagination is part of the unseen world that lies within your mind that leads you to your destiny. You will need your imagination to get to your destiny. You can't outthink, or you can't think your way to your destiny. You have to have a level of imagination. You have to. And using your creativity, such as videos, such as painting, such as taking photos, such as different things that are creative, is a healthy exercise to do somewhat on a daily basis if you can. For me, these videos exercise the level of my creativity. And they help me not just with self-expression, but for focusing my mind, for clearly having to see what I want to say and where my spirit's going, and that's healthy for me. Gilbert, I like when people have their own opinion, whether they agree or disagree, just as long as they can explain their view just as you do. With that being said, I saw a flock of geese, which means better weather. Amen. I'll take that, Gilbert. Yes, spring is in the air. That's encouraging. Again, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but damn it, even when spring gets here, I mean, we get better weather than Florida in the summer, but like I was driving by the Pine Lands today, which is inland of the coast in Jersey, and I was looking at all like the pine trees and stuff. I said, man, these don't inspire me. Only palm trees inspire me. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is not inspired. I'm thankful because I'm blessed, but I need that Florida, man. I need that Florida atmosphere. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Sam, good idea, Sam. Good. I mean, Sal John said good idea. Yes, I want to see that video, brother. Looking forward to it. Gilbert, a lot of them too. Yeah. The wildlife comes back when the weather gets warmer. That's where they got the phrase snowbird. Snowbird means someone who travels down to the southern states in the winter and then back up to the northern states in the summer. They travel with the weather. How did they get that name snowbird? From actual birds that migrate south in the winter and then they fly back up north in the summer. Such as it could be geese, it could be pigeons, or not pigeons, but it could be seagulls, things like that. It's all part of wildlife. It's part of nature. And we are part of nature. I mean, we're part of, in one sense, wildlife, right? So, but everyone's different. Some people thrive in the winter. Not me. I thrive no matter what, but I like summer. Pat, I know why God gave us snow, rain, and sunshine. We all like it different. I like the cold and rain. I'm not mad at you, Pat. I can't stand the cold and rain. I don't mind rain, thunderstorm. I don't like cold weather at all. Pat, it's raining again in Southern California. You can't really live in Southern California. I heard it never rains in Southern California. And it's cold in Southern California. I thought it's always hot. Man, somebody Google what's the weather forecast right now is in Southern California. They can't be cold and rainy. Sheila, it's not just the palm tree. It's the smell of the suntan lotion. Sheila, amen. I like that too. I do like that. That's a good point, Sheila. I agree with that. Do I like suntan lotion? Hell yeah. Sometimes I just spray it like cologne. I like that smell. Very inspiring. Again, what license plate am I going to get? I'm not going to get the regular Florida Sunshine State license plate. I'm getting the Florida Endless Summer license plate with the guy carrying the surfboard. Because in Florida, you can get different custom plates, and that's the one I want. A lot of here in the Jersey Shore, there's a lot of plates that say they're for you from what I saw in the news. Pat, we have been in a drought for years. Yeah, I heard about that. So it's very sad. A lot of people. There was actually somebody in our company. I know an email went out a couple of weeks back that he had lost his house in one of those fires on the West Coast. So very sorry to hear that. Killer Facts! Hey, what's up, Killer Facts? Good to have you, brother. Welcome. How was your day, Killer Facts? Yeah, my day was good overall. I stayed busy. I stayed productive. I spent more time with my mom. Thankful for that. Killer Facts. How are you? Good day? Yeah, overall's positive. Overall's positive. Like I said, I had to reroute the different things I wanted to do because certain roads were closed that were flooded. And then when I was traveling to, I went to just walk around at the mall with my mom. And we had to reroute because there was a couple trees down. And then she struggled a little bit walking in the mall. She has like a walker thing, but we didn't bring her wheelchair. I told her, Mom, let's bring the wheelchair. She didn't want to bring it. And she wasn't able to walk that long in the mall. So, we had to do a lot of driving and we didn't get to do much walking. I got to bring the wheelchair with her. It's just better because then she gets to see more sights and I could just push her. She had like the thing you buy from CVS. Like you could sit in it, but it's not a wheelchair. It's just like a walker. You need the wheelchair when somebody can't walk good. Killer Facts. I am looking into studying AWS, cloud storage, IT. Oh, well, that's definitely wisdom. Amazon Web Services, that stands for, I believe. It's definitely wisdom, cloud-based things. I mean, I work in that industry, I can tell you that. Software. Stay in the software side of things. That's where everything's going right now. Software, cybersecurity, not necessarily coding. Cloud, yes. Software side of things, period. That aspect of it definitely is wisdom. That area is still growing. So I think that'd be wise to get into that industry. There's a lot of job opportunities. Definitely on the West Coast. Forget about it. I mean, you can close your eyes and point, but everywhere, but specifically right now on the West Coast, I mean, tons of IT jobs, but everywhere. Even in New York, New Jersey, tons of them in that area. Gilbert, are you changing your registration over to Florida, Sam? I was thinking to do the same. Well, eventually, yes, that's my goal. Obviously, I'm not there yet, but I've definitely done all the research. Now it's just a matter of, obviously, I have to be at some point where I make that my home base. Like I said, right now I'm still kind of planning up here because of my job and different obligations. But I've looked into all the things I need to do when I'm ready to make that move. So I have everything lined up for it. Killer Facts. Software, any recommendations? Not necessarily, because I don't want to give you misinformation off the top of my head. I am in the infrastructure side of things. So I am in the physical, not necessarily hardware, but infrastructure, meaning electrical capacity, the utility feeds, the generator capacity, the UPS capacity, all the different electrical infrastructure that houses the server cabinets that lie within a data center. That's my side of things, balancing the capacity, understanding, how much cooling is needed per kilowatt, things of that nature. So that's more my field, but I can tell from my industry, software is, if you were just getting into it, software is right now the hotbed of where most opportunities are. I don't have enough insight at this moment to give you the right thing to focus on, but I could just say overall, it's a general statement. Software is definitely a wisdom. Pat, I am only about an hour away from snow and about an hour and a half away from the beach. Wow, that's interesting. Well, I know they have different elevations, different hills and mountains, and I know North California is different than South Carolina, North California is different than South California. But that's interesting. Killer facts. To do what you do, what are the requirements to learn that? Well, one is you need certain certifications in the electrical field, whether it's electrical license, whether it's an electrical engineer degree, whether it's a certain amount of time in the industry doing certain calculations. I have my own electrical contracting business. I had 5-year certification with the United States Department of Labor. I had a certain amount of credits in electrical engineering. I had a certain amount of time of actually working in the field, building data centers, commissioning them. So one is you just need to start and get work experience, even if you start at the bottom level. And then 2 is you need a certain amount of certifications based on what you're going to do. Are you going to do Linux? Are you going to do cybersecurity? Are you going to do, level 1, level 2 troubleshooting? Are you going to do, Loaded Snow? I mean, there's so many different platforms, but you have to pick a platform. You have to start, and you have to get some actual experience and some certifications. Again, that's a broad. It's so many different angles to go at. You have to figure it out for you, but that's been my path. Killer facts. How do you get to start? Apply online and start. I mean, work. That's what I did. I mean, you apply online. You call different companies. And you work a minimum wage job until you finally get an opportunity. That's what I did. So I worked a minimum wage job. I applied to various jobs. Eventually, I got one in the IT industry. I started at the very bottom as just a regular basic building technician for a data center company. And then I just worked my way up over the years. And it evolved. I went through ups and downs. I did my own thing, my own business. You get a little bit lucky along the way. A couple people give you opportunities. There's no one answer. But all I can say is apply, follow up. And while you're waiting for the best job, work a minimum wage job. That's what I did. I delivered pizzas. I painted houses. I worked at a music store in the mall. You have to work no matter what you do, even if you're not doing what you want. Some people say only do what you want. I say, look, do what you have to do until you can do what you want. That's what I've done in my life. Certainly you need some luck along the way. Certainly you need some people to give you opportunities, but you have to start. You don't have, that's just my opinion. That's my road that I've lived. Killer facts. Nice, man. I appreciate your feedback. I answered that. May West in the house, Brooklyn. Hey, May, how are you? May, it's good to see you. How you been, May? How's the book going, Bob Wells? Would you recommend that book from Bob Wells? I saw his YouTube video, on like the documentary of, what was it, Outward Bound or something like that. Well, how do you feel about that book, May? It's going good. We are going forward. Killer facts. Bob Wells is not bad. He has some good advice. He does. No, I agree with that. Some things I disagree on, but I'm sure some people disagree with me. I'm just cleaning my camera. But yeah, no, I like Bob Wells. Overall, he's positive, brother. I never really seen him say anything negative. And he does give some good information. And he's helped a lot of people. He certainly inspired me, so I would agree with that. Dolores, I'm watching on Roku. Dolores, thank you so much for sharing that. What is Roku again? Is that like a I don't know fully what Roku is. Could you explain it briefly? Killer facts. A little too out there. Yeah, he is, but he's just being him. I'm not mad at him. I guess I would never say I'm mad at Bob Wells because, again, I've never seen a video where he said something hurtful. He's pretty honest. So, no, I'm not a huge fan, but I'm a fan and I respect that he's helped a lot of people. I guess we're all a little bit out there. I mean, some people look at me and they say, Sam, you're out there. That's all right. I don't care. Killer facts. I like Element Van Life. Yeah, I watch him. A little bit of it. I like him, but a little bit of it is too much of a show. I think it's another waste of solar. I think he don't really do nothing with it. His videos, I don't know. His videos don't inspire me. I think he's got a cute Element setup. I've been watching him definitely recently because he's been in Florida, but his videos don't inspire me that much. I do watch them. He seems like an overall positive guy, so I don't want to say anything disrespectful. He is a Patreon guy, meaning he takes money from people who watch him that want to subscribe to his Patreon channel in addition to YouTube. So is that wrong? No. I do make that observation, though. Taxing the people to live his dream. Is it wrong? I guess it's like, people who buy like HBO. Is it wrong that they pay extra money for HBO? No, if that's what they want to do. But these are just my thoughts. But yes, I do subscribe to him. Where am I now? Sheila. Can you recommend a few Bible verses for me tonight? Sheila. Yes, I recommend Book of Proverbs. I want to say chapter 17. At least chapter 17. I think it was verse 1. I could be wrong. I was reflecting on that tonight. Better to eat a dry crumb in peace than to have a house with feasting and conflict. The book of Proverbs, in my opinion, should always be your first book that you read in the Bible. It's the most easiest and clearest to understand. It's basic wisdom principles. And when you get lost, go back to the basics, the book of Proverbs. I believe, I could be wrong on this one, chapter 17, verse 1 says, better to eat a crumb in peace than to be in a house with feasting and conflict. Protect your peace. Protect your energy. Have boundaries. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Sheila. Dolores, in place of cable, just need Wi-Fi. Oh, okay. Thank you, Dolores. Hello, Roku land. Look at me on Roku. I never thought I'd be on Roku. Now I'm on Roku. Look. I like it. That's cool. People think I'm wild. That's okay. Gilbert, I was told if you are the smartest in the room, you are in the wrong room. I believe I'm in the right room. Amen. And you are smart, you're intelligent, you're respected, and you're loved. Yeah, I remember watching a documentary on the Enron Corporation when they were saying like the smartest men in the room. That's what it was called. And that's what they always tried to prove, something like that. They were the smartest people in the room and they robbed, they basically scammed most of their employees, and their whole company was based on a lot of hot air. So yeah, we got to stay a little bit humble. Pride destroys talent. We got to be very careful. Snuff times. Sam, did you check out those smaller Mr. Buddy heaters? I did. Yeah, the smallest one I saw in the store was the $80 one, $79. And it heated up to 225 feet of square footage. Again, my Jeep Renegade's probably under 40 square feet. So they said it shows safe to use indoors, safe for tent camping. Would I put one in my car? I don't think I would feel safe doing it. If I had a van, probably. Yeah, probably definitely if I had like a foreign transit connect, I would do it. I don't think I'll put one in here. I don't know if I'll feel safe. Maybe if I really engineered my car, if I removed the seats and I put like an area that's safe zone, then maybe. But I don't want to remove my seats yet because eventually I'll probably trade this car in. And I don't have any place to put my seats. I'm not going to buy storage. I mean, I could remove the seats, but I have enough room. I mean, I'm content. I will say, though, again, this January was very hard. When it got 0 below, I don't want to go through another one of them. But I can do it if I have to. But not everybody is like me, but it was a little bit tough. But outside of that, as long as it's not in the single digits, I got no problem with living how I'm living, just layering up and using a sleeping bag. Oh, Show Nuff's in the building. Oklahoma has returned to the live chat. Show Nuff, good to see you. How you been, Show Nuff? Hey, Sam, what do you think about Campervan Ellis? He is a character. I've heard about him. I've never really watched him. I watched like a couple seconds of one of his videos because somebody kept talking about him, and I checked his videos. I was like, that ain't for me. I know right off the door when somebody's for me, and I know right off the door who the fuck I'm dealing with. I'm not judging him, but that guy's not for me. Like, I always look at when I hang out with this type of person in real life, I wouldn't fuck with a guy like that. And no, not that he's evil or wrong or anything like that. He's just not for me. So, no disrespect for people who like him, and just not for me, not my style. Like, even like there's a lot of gossip YouTube channels like about RVers. I'm not into any of that. You know, I don't mind seeing a little bit of like drama. I don't mind seeing a little bit of like, you know, real shit. But I have to see overall has to have a positive message for me. And it has to speak to my soul. Camper Van Elvis don't speak to my soul. But maybe he speaks to some people. And maybe some people just like him for entertainment. Not everything has to be like all overly positive. Some things could just be entertainment. But that doesn't entertain me. It doesn't inspire me. Not for me. But I'm not against anyone who wants to watch it. Good question, though. Thank you, Shonoff. Good to see you again, brother. Gilbert. I have Roku. Also can use it anywhere as long as there is Wi-Fi. Very interesting. Killer Facts. You seem to know the Bible pretty well. Could you explain to me Ezekiel 4:12? I never understood it. I don't know that scripture off the top of my head, so if you don't, if you want to write it in the chat, I can read it and go from there. But whenever you're trying to put a Bible verse in a context, you have to do a couple things. You have to read the chapter, you have to read the verse before, you have to read like the whole chapter from the beginning to the end. Because if you take any verse out, you know, it's like, you know, a president speaks for a half hour and someone takes one sentence out of that half hour speech. If all you see is that one sentence, you have no idea the context. So if someone takes one verse out of the book of whatever, this case Ezekiel, and you don't read the whole chapter, it's going to be out of context. And same thing like with one chapter. If you take one book out of the entire Bible and you base your belief system on that, and you don't take all the books in the Bible, then you take it out of context. What's the Bible summed up in one sentence? Jesus said that. They questioned Jesus because Jesus was questioning the religious leaders. They said, all right, give us the most important commandment. And Jesus said, I'll sum up all that is written in the prophecy books, all that is written in the scriptures. It's all summed up in this one sentence. Love God and love others. Period. That's it. Everything else is the details and more, you know, but that's the basics. And then you have to look at the Bible itself was only put together by the Catholic Church. It doesn't, the Bible is all written by men. There was women of this time, Mary Magdalene. I'm sure she has some shit to say, but they never put it in the canonized Bible. Why? Because, you know, women didn't have rights at that time. So the Bible was put together by the Catholic Church under pressure from the Roman Empire. Why was it under pressure of the Roman Empire? Because the Roman Empire at that time, when they basically ruled shit, was they didn't want to even allow Christianity because they felt it gave power and organization to the people. So they felt, but finally, I think Constantine may have granted them it to be legal because after they were like struck with a plague, and the only people that stayed behind to take care of some of the government workers when they were struck with a plague was a lot of quote unquote Christians and mostly women. And so after the plague and then after certain things happened, they said, all right, we'll allow Christianity to be legal, but you have to organize it. So if we have a problem with it, we know who to speak to, and you have to structure it. So thus formed the Roman Catholic Church. And then the Roman Catholic Church took a bunch of scriptures that they deemed the most holy. They put them together and they presented the Bible. So there's a lot of things that may not be totally encompassed within the Bible and may not hold whole perspective. The same thing with the Quran is, you know, basically by one person, and somebody else probably dictated it. And so one person giving one revelation, should they be lead an entire eternity? No. Just like the Bible. I mean, everything you have to take in context. Everything you have to think for yourself. There's a lot of good things in there that changed my life. But everything you have to filter it. You have to realize, why was it written? Who presented it? Who packaged it? Do people just repeat what was told to them because that's all they know? Many times, yes. Why did I really want to learn the Bible? Because I wanted to learn it for myself and then understand it for myself, so I don't have to fucking be spoon-fed by some guy or some girl who wants 10% of my salary. Because a lot of times that's what happens. And but I'm certainly willing to give my opinion and perspective if you want to share that specific verse. And then we have to also understand the book of Ezekiel in the proper context. And then that's part of the Old Testament. That's before the New Testament. So there's a whole context there. The Old Testament was before Jesus. It was basically, the Old Testament is the Torah, the Jewish law. It's the documentation of the beginning of time, Adam and Eve, the documentation of Moses when he led the Israelites out of slavery into the promised land, which was Jerusalem. It was, or Israel as a whole, I should say. And then it was also different kings and prophets and storytelling from BC, before Christ, or however you want to say it. Then what's the New Testament? The birth of Christ, his life, the death, the resurrection, and the beginning of the church. So that's, there's two parts of the Bible. Jewish people who don't believe in Jesus mainly only focus on the Torah, which is the Old Testament. Christians focus on both. Muslims take some of the Old Testament and they believe somewhat of they believe Jesus was a prophet. They don't believe he was a savior. And then they basically rock with Muhammad's writings. And, those are the major thing. But also, don't forget about Buddhists and don't forget about Hinduism, which are also huge religions. So there's a lot of various perspectives in this world. Don't forget about our atheist brothers and sisters. So I take everything in context. I certainly have a spirituality. I certainly believe in divinity in certain scripture writing that's blessed me and helped me. But I've certainly learned to think for myself because I've seen it misinterpreted based on ignorance and based on following what they've been taught. So let me take a breath and let me read the next comment. Mae West, the name of the book is How to Live in a Car, Van, or RV. Get out of debt, travel, and find true freedom by dropping out of the rat race. I'm not mad at that, May. I hope you are moving forward. I like that. Renee! Renee's in the building. Hey, Sam. Smiley face emoji. Hey, Renee. You are correct. Proverbs 17:1. Awesome verse. Thank you. Pray all is well with you. Thank you, Renee. Good to see you. I love your positivity. Killer Facts. Sam, you have great views, man. Thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. I appreciate that, Killer Facts. Thank you. Whew. Praise the Lord. Always feels good to be encouraged rather than cursed out. But sometimes I get cursed out. There was a guy here last night tried to curse me out. I blocked him. Selling John. Mae West. I know I may have been on the wrong forum. No car, no RV, but really just free on a sailboat. Just different, but same. That's right, John. You're not forgotten. Look, one thing I respect Bob and Bob paved the way for a lot of people, including me. The mindset of getting out of the rat race. The new viewer that I have, Josh, he talked about that he got caught in the rat race. We all get caught in the rat race. I got caught in it. Living a life of freedom, financial empowerment, health empowerment, I mean, it's just a blessing. Again, you can still live in a house, but maybe it's a house way below your means, right? So it doesn't have to be a car, van, RV, or a boat. It could be a house, but the house could be way below your means. The problem is most people don't live in a house way below their means, including me. I mean, I lived in the beginning of when I first bought the house, it was above my means. Then as my career matured, it was at my means. And so that was my initial thought of downsizing. I wasn't going to live in a car. I was just going to get a beach condo that was way below my means. I couldn't find one that I liked. And then when I saw people on YouTube, Bob Wells, etc., living out in their car, I said, you know what? For a single guy with no kids or pets, that may be a good option for me. I said, well, I'm 37 now. If I'm not going to try it, I was 36 last year when I tried it. If I'm not going to try it now, when am I going to try it? When I'm older, it's going to be even harder. So shit, I might as well try it now. Now's the time window. That's my thought process. May, he does break down on difference between being homeless and being a van dweller. Yeah, there's a difference. And again, there's good and bad in everything. There's people that have bad character that are van dwellers. There's people that have bad character that are homeless. There are people that are good character that are homeless. There's people that have good character that are van dwellers. There's good and bad in everything. So again, you've got to be very careful with labels. It really doesn't matter if you're a van dweller, car liver, homeless. I mean, the main thing is are you living a healthy, positive, productive life and you trying to do your best to go forward? I mean, and then the rest is just like how you choose to live, which is different for everyone. Killer Facts. Have you ever dealt with the police while sleeping? Yes, I did a video on that. That's my most popular video. I have 57,000 views on that video. I can't believe that. I never thought that when I uploaded it. If you go to my homepage on my channel, I believe how I structured it is it'll show, if you scroll down, it'll show my most popular videos eventually. And I got a video like this, cops come knocking on my door. That was like my first week I was living out of a car. I was at a rest stop, sleeping, spending the night, and I didn't know it was a 2-hour rest stop. I didn't know shit. I didn't even have window covers. Your first couple of weeks, I was totally lost. I was like, because nothing, you can do all the planning you want. You can read all the books you want. The only way you learn is that you get in your car, you got nowhere else to go, and you got to figure it out. And that's the best way to learn, in my opinion, for the most part. So, yeah, if you go on my homepage and you scroll down, it'll be on the one of my popular video categories. Also, if you go on my homepage and go to my playlist, Nomad/Simple Living playlist, it's in there somewhere. So, yeah, that's my most popular videos to date on YouTube. Cops came knocking at my door, and I was like, this is amazing. Killer facts. I heard sleeping at car sales. I heard sleeping at car sales lots works well. I haven't heard that. Again, I don't recommend anything that's illegal. But again, everybody should do what they want. I've never heard of that though. Actually, that's interesting. Excuse me. Yeah, praise the Lord. Killer. Yeah, because you blend in. Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, some people say hospitals, same thing. You can go in their parking lots, but I don't know. Everyone has a different way. Sheila, that's the video I watched first, and I subscribed. Really? That's amazing. Yes, the YouTube world is very interesting. There's different way people find you, and same way I found different people, and then you get caught in a whole universe, and it's amazing how God intertwines certain people with you in your life. It's amazing. Killer facts. How about 24-hour fitness? That's not a bad idea. But again, the only thing I would say with that, I definitely saw people when I was down in Florida sleeping in Planet Fitness parking lot. I see people in Jersey in the summer sleeping in Planet Fitness parking lot. Some people abuse it. I seen one guy living out of his van, staying there for a couple nights in a row. I'm sure he eventually, somebody told him to keep it moving. Look, for a one-off night, you go in there and you have a workout. I don't think you would have any issue, and then you came back in your car and you slept for a few hours. But I think the issue is when people abuse it. Like, if you're going to stay there 2-3 nights, if you're going to park there between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. the next day, then, that's abuse. So it's all about living responsibly, right? Because I often say, I know people who live in houses and they get their cops called to their house. They're irresponsible. They have an irresponsible attitude. I know people who live in their car. They're very responsible. They stay a place for a certain amount of time. They keep it moving and they don't have problems. It's all a matter of, are you a responsible or irresponsible person, and how you choose to respect your environment or not. And, that's interesting. Killer facts. Well, I plan on having a Prius, so it's pretty stealth. I like the Prius. Great option. Definitely, if you could deal with that small space, I would definitely look at that. I like the Prius very much. One of the guys who inspired me on YouTube, he used to live out of his Prius. I like the Prius. Killer facts. Did you hear LA made it illegal to sleep in your car? I heard they did that only because different parts of California had major RV problems where people would park on the street and they would stay there for months on end. So it was trying to avoid that problem. So I heard they did, but then I heard also they recently reversed that. I heard, because it went up to, I don't know if it went to the Supreme Court or a higher court, and they reversed that based on they said it was prejudice against homeless people. Because that's really what the problem was. It was people, because the rents and the house ownership is so high in California, that a lot of people full-time live in their RV, but then a lot of those people abuse the system. They park in the same spot in the street and they never move their RV. That's not right either. So, but I did hear that got reversed. I'm not sure though. I don't live there. Gilbert says, since when and where? Yeah, it did. I don't know if it was in San Jose or that area, but I heard it got reversed too. I'm not sure. It's all different. Killer facts. Just in February they passed it. I didn't hear that. Gilbert. Wow, that's good to know. Mae West. It's like a good guide from getting rid of stuff, buying a vehicle, and going to the bathroom. No, that's good. It's all basic, essential things that you need to know. So that's wisdom. I think it's good to do some research and planning. I really do. And inspiration. Yeah, I mean, overall, as a general rule, living in your car is legal. It's always where you park, and each state and each town within that state, they have different ordinances, and that's where it could be a problem. So that's what you'd have to research based on where you plan to live. But if you don't plan to go to California, well, not just California, because there's different state parks in California that you can go and you can sleep in your car, or tent camp, or whatever you want to call it. It's all a matter of certain cities, certain ordinances. It's not a one blanket statement. Killer facts. When you are looking to switch your current vehicle, good question. Right now, I don't have any plans to switch it. I am mindful that I'm putting a lot of wear and tear on this one. Again, it's been about Just about 2 years I had the vehicle. I got about 75,000 miles on it. And I have done some general maintenance, change the tires, a couple issues with the oil. Well, not a couple issues, but oil changes. I had a radiator fan that went bad, check engine light that came on. That's all been repaired. The radiator itself is great. The radiator fan is brand new. It's been working great. So overall, I've been blessed. Overall, I like my Jeep Renegade. I'm content. I don't want anything else. And when this one goes, the main reason I put that many miles on is when I sold my house, I wanted to explore the entire East Coast. I don't want to do that anymore. I know where my sweet spot is down in Florida and the area that I like in Florida. Within the past year, I went all the way up to Vermont, Boston, Pittsburgh, North Carolina, South Carolina. I mean, I traveled the whole entire East Coast. I didn't explore every inch, but I got a good feel for the different areas. I know, for me, at this point, where I want to be now. So my future vehicles won't have as many miles on them, unless, obviously, my life circumstance changed at any time that could. So right now, in my opinion, the first season that will happen when you become nomadic is you'll travel a lot because you'll go into the explore mode or the explore season. After that's over, then you're going to go into all right, now you found your favorite spots and you're going to stay around them more. So you're not going to travel as much. For most people. For some people, they like constant travel. I don't like that. I've never liked that. I just kind of try to figure out my sweet spot. Now I figured that out. Student Dr. Dubai. Sam, good to see you. Good to see you, brother. How often do you walk and for how long? Started walking after inspirational videos. Thank you. Well, every day I wake up, I work out, I walk. I used to, when I was in my real, heavy fitness mode, I used to walk, what's 10,000 steps? I think is 10,000 steps 5 miles? I think 10,000 steps is 5 miles. So I at least walk 5 miles a day. I used to walk close to 20 a day. That's a lot, but that's when I was really in heavy weight mode loss. I couldn't even probably do that anymore because as I get older, I feel my knees. I used to walk the entire New York City. I used to go from the Brooklyn Bridge all the way up to Harlem and back. And I believe that's got to be close to damn 20 miles. So now I pace myself. I pretty much walk just 10,000 steps, maybe a little bit more, 15,000 steps. I do have a smartwatch, but I kind of know myself. So I do a walk in the morning, I do a walk in the afternoon, I do a walk in the evening. So right around 5 miles is a sustainable level for me at this point in my journey, but that's varied. But that's what I would say on average. That's the average daily recommended amount of walking for an average person is 10,000 steps. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's about 5 miles. So that's what you should try to get. And you don't have to do it all in one shot, but during the course of the day, you should do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, one at night. That's kind of what I do in general. Kilofax. What if your vehicle needs repair? That takes more than 1 day. Do you have a backup car? Does your car insurance have a rental if your car is out of repair? Good questions. If it was out for more than a day, I would rent a car. If I do have a rental program with my insurance, but I believe it's only if I get in an accident, not if my car breaks down. So I would have to pay for that. I mean, but I budgeted that. I mean, I have it in my budget. I live below my means, so it wouldn't be a problem if it was a one-off like that. If it was a few days or whatever. And I do have friends and families, in a lot of states. So definitely not family necessarily, but definitely friends. So if I was ever in a pinch, I try to always avoid that because I don't really like asking anyone for anything unless I absolutely need to. So if I was really in a pinch, I mean, I have my options. So my plan A would be I would just rent a car. I'm living below my means. I would be able to do it without a problem, even if it was for a couple of weeks. And worst case scenario, I always have friends and a couple family members that I could call on if I really needed to. So that's how I would handle it. Good question. May West. He said after first divorce he was broke and he had to live in his car. Remember, I heard him say that in the video. He got married again and left to live in a car. He wanted to be free. I'm not mad at that. May. He has great information, but he doesn't seem like the type who would ever really who would ever work really hard. He enjoys a simple life, maybe because he's older too. Yes, I'm not mad at him. Yeah, I know. I heard him say that story. I know he was also on disability for a while. He collected Social Security disability, and that's when he kind of because he grew up, I think, in Alaska, and then he went down to Arizona eventually after the divorces, and he was on Social Security disability. I'm not mad at him. Overall, I think he's a positive brother. I mean, I don't agree with him 100% on everything, but you shouldn't agree with me 100% on everything. Everyone's their own individual, but overall, I respect the positive, inspiration, informational things that he's shared with his life, and I'm thankful for him. He's been an inspiration in my life. So I appreciate that. Killer facts. San Diego is where I plan to live. When I get my Prius, I want to be by the ocean. Killer facts. Love and respect to that. Now, I actually know a couple people from the San Diego area. I heard it is a little bit hard to full-time by the San Diego area. So you have to be mindful of that. But if you're stealth and you keep it moving and you're willing to spend a little bit of money in gas and traveling and not just sleep by the beach, then I think you'd be good. But you should live your dream, explore it, brother. That's a beautiful area. I've never been to San Diego. Do I want to go there? Eventually, one day, I may go to San Diego to visit. I love Florida because I really love it hot and humid. But I've never been to California, so I can't give a fair analysis. But I heard it's beautiful. So maybe I'll see you there, brother. You'll be in a Prius. Who knows what I'll be in. And then he says, Florida is beautiful. Yes. Everyone's different. I got my guy Doug in here who joins the live feed. He loves New Mexico. He loves the desert. So everyone has a different idea of what they love and what environment sets their soul on fire. Pat says she likes it rainy and cold. Some people like mountains. I like flatland. Some people like desert. I like ocean. So you have to be you. You have to be you. That's always the answer. Knowing yourself well is the key to all decisions. And part of that is exploring, finding out what you like and what you don't like. Nothing wrong with that. Praise the Lord. Killer facts. Yeah, man. I don't want to travel. I just want to live well. Amen. Below my means with nice weather. Killer facts. Me and you on the same page on that, brother. Amen. I'm not mad at you. Praise the Lord. Good stuff, man. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night. I'm very much thankful for all the comments. I'm thankful for everyone and their support and love. I pray that you have a peaceful night. Pack Live, great discussion. Peace out. Pack Live, thank you for all your love, man. Sunglass emoji to you as well. And don't let your mind go to a sad place. Good night to you too, May. I love you. Good night, Killer Facts. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All great comments tonight. Gilbert, I love you too, brother. If you're still out there. Sal and John, love you. Appreciate everyone. Pat. Just don't let your mind go to a sad place. The joy of the Lord is your strength. If you don't believe in God, just stay joyful. Bye, Renee. Love to you. Blessings to you also. Just stay joyful. That's wisdom. Keep your body in motion. Eat more plants. Drink more water. Hector! Night, brother. Hector just started full-time. And Hector, bless you, brother. Love and respect to you, man. Good to see you. Thank you for your comments. Eat more plants. Drink more water. If you fall, you get up. Try to stay positive. Only keep people in your life that are good for your mental health. Even if I'm not good for you anymore, I want you to have the freedom to go. I don't want to control people. I don't want to hurt people. I want you to be the best you. That's my goal here. Nothing else, nothing more. I want to be the best me. I want the freedom to be me, and I want to give others the freedom to be them. So go in peace and stay inspired.